An extraordinary game we watched in the first instance, but where are you now on Arsenal, having seen that performance, the result as well? Are you more or less confident about their chances of winning the title?
I think the same. I think today's a really good point for them. This is an abnormal place. Things happen out there in this stadium that just doesn't happen in any other stadium. You're never safe in the game here. You might be 2-0 up, and sometimes if you're 2-0 up in a title race and you can see two, sometimes you might get accused of bottling it. That's not what Arsenal have done here today. They've just been playing at Anfield and crazy things happen out there. Liverpool from nowhere come into the game in the overall title race. You'd expect that along the way with the games that they've got, obviously Newcastle away, City away, they will drop more points and it'll happen, but they've got to hope that City will drop a couple of points along the way as well.
Would you have been convinced had they held on?
Yeah, because we all know how difficult it is to win here. It's a mad place. I think I said that the year that we won the treble in '99, I think we were 2-0 or 2-1 up, and then they somehow got a goal. I think 5 minutes to go, we ended up 2-2. We came off a little bit disappointed at the end because obviously we hadn't seen it through. But in the end, you win the title by 1 point. So the reality of it is, it's Anfield. You can't lose sight of that. Liverpool are a difficult team to play against here, and Arsenal should be proud of themselves. I think Mikel Arteta will be proud of his players when, you know, he reflects back on this game. They were brilliant first half. They were absolutely fantastic.
Does it change the mentality, though, now, Roy, if you're in the Manchester City camp? Because for the first time for a while, it is in their hands. It's still in Arsenal's hands as well, but it's also Manchester City's hands.
And the only way you keep pointing towards City is because obviously City have been down this road before over the last few years and getting over the line when it's been really tight, particularly when a brilliant Liverpool team have been pushing them. So that's where you'd be edging towards them. But I still think it was a great point from, and you'd only say City are probably slight favourites. But obviously the big game coming up soon is when obviously Arsenal go to City. But I still think Arsenal are capable of going to City and getting a result. But the team that's hunting them down is one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League, ever. I think they're an amazing team. We've got an unbelievable striker, brilliant manager, team with vast experience, world-class players. And that's why you'd probably still feel City are probably slight favourites. But I think Arsenal's point today could end up being a huge, huge point for them.
Well, you thought that Liverpool would win today. So should Arsenal actually reflect on this as a bonus point, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, it's that quote that we always hear before a lot of games when someone is actually disappointed and they say, we'd have took that before the game. Now, they may have took a point before the game, but I just think when you're 2-0 up, we've all been players in that position. You see when the final whistle goes, you see the reaction of some of the Arsenal players, like, oh, you know, there is that fear, and then you almost need the manager to come in at the end of the game, maybe tomorrow when they get back to the training again, to actually lift them, say, hang on, Anfield, a point. It's because the position they found themselves, and we've all been in that position where you're ahead in a game and you drop points, but no, we won't know how big this point is till the end of the season, and it certainly makes for a great title race now. Well,
it does. And having spent the afternoon with you, Micah, I'm desperately confused about where you actually stand.
I just like a good game of football, Dave. I don't know what you're trying to insinuate here.
He bowls with the wind.
Company ambassador for Arsenal next season.
Let's have another look at that graphic, because this is going to need a little bit of sorting out, Micah. Come on, you have first dibs at this.
Look, it's going to be difficult. If you look at Arsenal, you're looking at Newcastle away. I think they'll deal with Chelsea and Man City. We know Man City are playing Arsenal.
Do you think they'll deal with the first two before they go to the Etihad?
I think West Ham they'll deal with, and Southampton they'll deal with. Man City is a big one, of course. I think they beat Chelsea with their form right now. But going to Newcastle is going to be tough. The way Newcastle play, everyone's expecting Newcastle to fall off, and they keep going and going and going. They're brilliant to watch. But then if you go on Man City's side, Brentford away. I know we're looking at. I'm going to the end. I'm going to the Brentford away and Brighton away. They're the away games.
Might go in that last.
The big help for Arsenal might be the distractions for obviously Man City with the Champions League, because them games physically and emotionally will take a lot out of them when you're playing against a big team. Obviously the FA Cup will take care of itself, but I think the Champions League could just take a little bit away if they get through to the semis and the final. That could be an advantage towards Arsenal.
There's no doubt it's a tougher running for Arsenal. When you think of games that City could drop points in, I look at Everton away. Is notoriously a tough game for City. Even when they win there, it's maybe by the odd goal. That could be a tough game with Everton fighting for their lives, tight pitch, the crowd. And also Brighton. I think Brighton are a super team. They're a tough game for anyone. They will take City on at their own game. But as Roy just said there, the European games, you're not quite sure which one might be a Wednesday night, and then you play Saturday. Might be an early game, might just be 3 o'clock Saturday, and then it's a different kettle of fish in terms of, you know, turnaround time. And I do think that, because we keep talking about the title, City can do the treble. You know, the great chance they're going to be in the FA Cup final, the favourites for the Champions League. And I think on the running for that, if they keep going, there will be 1 or 2 games, I think, where Pep Guardiola has got to think about winning the treble, and he'll have to take a chance in a couple of league games in terms of the team he picks, and it might not be his best team, and he might think, I've just got to go with this one because I've got this game midweek, and this the